Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Case, and you watching Baller Alert.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Jenny B, and you're watching Baller Talk only on Baller Alert TV. Today, we have a special guest, singer, songwriter, record producer, Grammy-nominated artist, all that. Case.
What's going on?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm tired, but I'm good.
Tired.
I'm good.
In preparation for this interview, a lot of people were trying to make me ask, like, where have you been, what you've been up to, but what they don't know is you've been releasing music consistently, like new music or re-recorded music for the last 4 years. And pretty much you've been pretty active since you came back to the music industry. So let's start with the reason why you left in the first place.
I got to a point where the business part of the music business made me fall out of love with making music. I love with music, period, really. And I just got to a point where I was like, I'm not gonna make music no more. Like, I'm tired of dealing with the politics and the bullshit and all that stuff. So I just was tired of dealing with that stuff. And I was like, I'm just not gonna do it no more. And I think that lasted for about four and a half years, something like that. Maybe 5. But and then what happened was in May of 2009, my grandmother died. And she was real instrumental in me even getting into music in the first place. Like, from the time I was a little kid, had me singing and doing concerts and studying music. And then the next month, Michael Jackson died, who was one of my biggest inspirations. And then that made me start going back listening to old music. And it kind of took me back to what made me love it in the first place.
So then you just came back and got back on the road, and that was on the road, and now you're here.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
So now let's just take it back to the beginning of Case for the people that don't know, which would probably be everybody that was born like after 2000. So
yeah, maybe. Yeah.
So it started with you behind the scenes, writing, background work, demos and stuff for the likes of Usher and I'll Be Sure. And then you got a song written by Faith Evans, and you were discovered by Russell Simmons, and then signed to Def Jam.
Yep.
And then in '96, you released Touch Me, Tease Me with Mary, who was a superstar at the time, still is a superstar, and up-and-coming Foxy Brown. So how did that come about? Because you were just now starting, but then you got Mary on the track, and then it just blew up.
Well, actually, Mary's not on that track.
She's on? She doesn't sing that? She's in the video.
She's in the video.
Yes.
Yeah. See what I did, y'all?
Yeah.
Nah, she's in the video, and she wrote the song. She was one of the writers of the song. Her and my manager at the time, Misa Hilton, was like best friends, and so she hooked that up. Misa's also the one that hooked up the Get Faith to write the song too.
Oh, that started everything.
Yeah. Yep.
So she was pretty instrumental in your career.
Yeah, we went to high school together. So we
oh,
was
really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's.
We have been friends for years.
Wow, I never knew that. That's.
Yeah, we went to high school together.
Right there.
I used to babysit Justin.
Oh, really? That's awesome. So, but still, like, with Mary being in the video, she was huge at that time. You're just a boy from Brooklyn, was hustling in the streets and all that. But then you got this big happening for you right now.
Yeah.
So how did that make you feel?
I mean,
even with, I know when I was watching Unsung, your dad was Jehovah's Witness, and he was singing, but then he stopped, and then you wanted to do all of that, but then you had this big moment. How did everything work out for you after that?
Well, with my family, they was happy. I mean, at that point, I was out of the house, so it was nothing they could. I mean, they could be happy or not be happy. It was happening. So, the reason why I left home was for that reason, that I wanted to make music, and I couldn't do that and live in their house. So, that's the reason I left in the first place. But once it happened, I mean, they was happy. I mean, I guess like anybody would, any parents or my sisters they was always happy. So.
And then how did it make you feel to just blow up off of that first big?
I mean, I was happy. I was young, and I'm just starting out, so I don't know what's next. Like, all I was thinking about was what do I do next? Like, I'm always like that. We was just talking in the car, like, I don't listen to my own music. Like, when I make it, I listen to it till I get it the way I want it, and then I don't never listen to it again, really.
What? Really? Even though all of your music is in everything from movies, it's timeless.
I mean, if it's on a movie and it comes on, I'm not gonna fast forward the movie. But if it comes on in the car or whatever, I turn it off.
Oh my goodness.
Unless my daughter wants to hear it. But other than that, I don't listen to my music. So I'm always thinking like, okay, what am I gonna do next? Like,
the relationship with you and Mary kind of caused personal problems as well as career problems with.
ain't caused no personal problems for me. Yeah, that stuff happened in 94, 95. Touch Me Tease Me came out in 96.
But Touch Me Tease Me was your first single from.
That was in 96.
And then, and Mary wrote 4 of the songs on that album.
On the first album, yeah. And that came out in August of 96, I think. So by then, I ain't had no personal problems. I was
But
good.
you did have an R&B beef with KC.
Nah, we didn't have it. I mean, it was just, we never got a chance to talk about what was going on.
Never? You never squashed
No,
that
we
beef?
have now.
Oh, now.
I'm saying, but at that time, we hadn't had a chance to talk about what was going on. So, I mean, it wasn't a beef, because when it's beef, somebody get hurt. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't call it beef. It was a misunderstanding. And like, we never got to talk, me and him, about what was going on, so.
And how's your relationship with Mary now? Is it cordial? Or y'all don't talk about that? No relationship with her at all?
Yeah.
It's easy enough for you, I guess.
I mean, do you still speak to a boyfriend you had 23 years ago? I doubt it. 24 years ago?
But I don't work with any of them.
I haven't worked with her either since 24 years ago.
It's kind of the same circles, like the industry.
Nah, I'm good.
Never even cross paths?
Yeah, we crossed paths a couple times.
Just walk right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now it's been, like you said, it's been over 2 decades since all of that stuff has happened. But some other stuff that's 2 decades old also is you, I'm sure you're tired of talking about all of this stuff, but you having Beyonce in your Happily Ever After video.
Yeah, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks, that'll be 20 years.
Yeah.
So that song is 20 years old.
So at that time, she was just the lead singer of Destiny's Child. Now
And they had like their first single out, yeah.
Now she's one of, if not like the most powerful woman in music right now. So like, I don't even think that she's done another video, like been lead in another video that she didn't sing on, besides yours. So you're pretty much part of Beyonce history as well.
I guess so. Yeah, there you go. I'll take that.
So how did that come about? You just was like, oh, she's nice. Put her in the video.
In a nutshell, yeah.
Pretty much.
We was looking for somebody to put in the video, and we would, like, it was a lot of the same chicks was in videos. I'm like, I don't want to have somebody that's in everybody else's video. So we went through models, and like, no, they was all in everybody's video. Actresses, like, no. And then I was watching BET, and then I was like, okay, what about her? And it was like, I don't know. I was like, well, call. So then they called her dad. She was like, send him the song. We sent him the song. He loved it. She was like, all right, cool, we do it. Flew up, knocked it out.
And then the rest is history.
Yeah, actually,
and everybody asked you
there was no
about
muss, no fuss.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay, Beyonce. So among the many hits you have, from Missing You, The Best Man with Genuine, RL and Tyrese, and most of your songs, a good portion of them are on movie soundtracks. So what do you think makes your music resonate so well with movies and films? What do you think that is the reason that they gravitate towards your music?
But the reason it was is not as deep as that. It's that Def Jam had those soundtracks at the time, and they wanted songs from all of the Def Jam artists. Like, you notice on those soundtracks you mentioned, there's a bunch of Def Jam artists on there. And then mine would always be the first single. Is that? That's what happened.
So it's no...
Because they weren't in the movie. The only song I did that was actually in the movie was the song I did with Ghostface for Johnson Family. Yeah,
Vacation.
Yeah. I was about to say Johnson Family something else. I'm glad you said it. But yeah, that's the only song I did that was actually in the movie.
So your reputation has always been the person that looks like a rapper but solidified his career as an R&B soul singer. But what made you decide to continue with the love music and making love music instead of the hip-hop route that Def Jam wanted you to go on in your first album?
Just because I had to do what I feel. It is probably the short answer. Like, I don't think you should make music based on what you think is going to sell or what people are going to like. It has to be what you feel. And if people happen to feel the same thing that you feel, then you'll be successful. If they don't, you won't. But it should always be based on your feelings, and it should be honest. So, and that's why no matter what, I made what I felt like inside of me that I should make.
So
to this day, actually.
you're more of the romantic type than the.
It's not even necessarily romance. It's just that I like slow music. It don't have to be.
Oh, slow. Okay.
Yeah, like I could be singing slow music about anything, and I like it. It's just because when it's slowed down, you can hear all the instruments. You can hear it's a better feel for me. It's more of a feel and a vibe for me. So.
Rather than the lyrics and what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, the lyrics too, but the lyrics it takes on a different shape when you're singing them to a faster song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like a different emotion attached to it.
That
and
makes
seeing as
perfect
I can't
sense.
dance to save my life, fast songs don't do too much good.
Okay, so now you came up in a time where radio and records sales were huge.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's all digital and music streaming. And so what do you make of that? Like, what do you think of the music industry now and how music is pushed out?
I don't think there is a music industry anymore. It's just people putting out music. Mm-hmm. Like it's really no structure to it anymore. It's like the Wild West, which is why, in my opinion, I think a lot of times the music has suffered because there's no gatekeepers. There's no artist development. There's no quality control. It's just anybody can just make whatever and put it out. So I don't really consider it a music industry anymore.
Just the
Producers
internet.
don't produce. They go and get what's that Fruity Loops thing off the internet, and like nobody plays instruments. If you can't sing, they got auto tune.
Yeah.
So it's not. I don't think there is a music industry really.
Knowing what you know now, what would you change anything that was done back in the day when you were coming up in the industry?
Probably not, because it all got me to where I am now.
Right.
And the things that I learned, maybe changing something might take away a lesson that I learned back then. Mm-hmm. So you never know. Got that from Back to the Future.
So what kind of advice would you give to R&B singers now?
I
If
would
you
say-
think that there are any.
There are some, and I'm a huge fan. Like my favorite is Ty Dolla $ign.
Oh, really?
I love Ty Dolla $ign. Like,
That's interesting.
Yeah. Why?
I mean, I don't, when I think of R&B singers, he's not somebody
He got
that
more
will-
soul than all the rest of them that's
then
out right
would
now.
come up to my mind. Yeah, but it's just that he's not. I feel like he's more of the hip hop side of it than R&B.
Well, you know what he does that reminds me of myself? His fast songs are kind of more hip hop, but then the slow songs aren't. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
kind of like where I've basically been done my whole career. But I think he's extremely soulful. I like Miguel. I like her. But I think that for up and coming artists, that they should just have a vision for who they want to be as an artist. What's the message they want to put out? How they want to be perceived. What do they want their career to be and to look like, and stick to that vision that you have for yourself, because there's going to be a lot of other people that have their opinion on what you should look like, what you should sound like, what type of songs you should sing. But at the end of the day, it's your name on it. So you got to live with that. That's going to be out there forever once you put it out. So
I was going to ask you also, but you kind of mentioned it a little bit. Which R&B artist that is out right now do you think is the most like you? How you came up in the business?
yeah, I would say Ty Dolla $ign. I love Ty Dolla $ign. I think it's dope.
So you want to collaborate with Ty Dolla $ign as well?
Yeah, we actually tried to for this current album that I have out now, but it was right when his tour was starting. So we didn't shelve it. I'm gonna try to make something happen.
Ty Dolla $ign, if you're watching.
You.
What's your? Well, you actually. This is on my list of questions, but you don't listen to your own music. But do you have a favorite K song?
Nah. I mean, it's like having a favorite kid. I mean, I guess if I had to pick, it'd probably be a song for Sky, because it was to my daughter when she was a baby. But I mean, other than that, it's not. Because I don't listen to it. I don't make it for me.
Yeah.
I make it, and if I like it, I'm like, okay, we keep it, but I'm not making it for me. Because if it was up to me, I didn't want to sing Missing You.
Really?
And I hated that record.
Mine is Not Your Friend. I'm sure that
I like
one-
Not Your Friend.
Oh, really?
When I made it, yeah. But
Yeah.
I don't make it for me, which is why I had to learn to take that out of it, because I would be going back and forth like, well, I don't like it. It'd be like, yo, just put it out. I don't like it. It was a constant fight, but I'm like, I'm not gonna listen to it anyway.
So, in headlines, one of the biggest headlines as of late was the King of R&B. So who do you think the King of R&B of all time is? And maybe of this, like right now?
I don't think there's no king of any genre of music. There never will be. It never has been. It's like if you think about it, like who would you consider king?
Of all time?
Yeah.
I don't know. I have to alter my decision these days.
Yeah, I mean, there is no, you can't. How you gonna alter your decision? The music didn't change. The music doesn't change. We talk about the music.
I don't know.
There's never been a king. Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Donny Hathaway was all at the same time. So which one's the king?
Okay, yeah, I mean, if you put it that way. And also, when people are talking about the king of R&B, it's like they don't go back as far as maybe they should to talk about of all time.
But even if you're talking about right now, you can't. I don't think you.
I feel like of this I don't know, maybe not.
Because everybody has, it's all subjective.
R&B, yeah.
It's too subjective for anybody. There's never been a king of rap. There's never been king of rock and roll. There never will be because you can't, there's no definitive answer for that question. So just like there's no definitive answer as to whether so-and-so can sing or not. Or if this person can rap or not. I've heard people say Eminem is the most genius rapper ever. I've heard people say Eminem is trash. So nobody's right or wrong.
Music is subjective.
Yeah, it's too subjective for there to be a king. And then people are like, well, these are the 4 kings. Nah, ain't no 4 kings. A king means a king. You ever been somewhere and they got 4 kings to a country? Nah, they got the Queen of England. It ain't no 4 kings. That's why it's just something to talk about.
Yeah. Well, when you put it that way, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's just something to talk about. Yeah.
So if you weren't a singer, what would you be doing?
I'd be depressed as hell because that's all I ever wanted to do. Like really, I never even considered doing nothing else. From the time I was a little kid.
That's good that you actually were able to fulfill.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's good because it happened.
Yeah.
If not, oh God, because I've had jobs before and I was miserable because all I would think about at work was being a singer and being an artist, like all day long.
Wow, that's pretty inspiring that you're here 20 years later. Well, over 20 years.
Yeah, 23 this year. Yeah.
So, taking it back 2 decades, what, if you remember, was the most expensive thing that you purchased with your first big paycheck?
The most expensive was my house.
That was the first thing you got?
No.
The most expensive? And
that was the most expensive out of everything.
What's the best thing that you bought with your first paycheck?
My most favorite, probably taking my mom and my sister out to projects. That was it for me. Like I always wanted to do that.
So now that the music industry, or lack thereof, is all digital now, what do you think is the biggest asset or downfall of the switch and the way that music is pushed on social media and digitally?
I think it's watered down because there's so much music. Like I noticed this, and I was talking to somebody about it. Like there'll be an album that comes out today. I think I was talking to my son about this. An album will come out today, maybe 2 albums. I download them. Before I can listen to them, it's been 5 other ones that have come out, and I'm like, what was it, last year before last maybe, I was sitting there listening to Stir Fry. I'm like, yo, I love this song. And my son like, that song is so old. Now, mind you, this is during All-Star, when they performed at All-Star. I'm like, yeah, I love that song. He's like, that song is old. I'm like, when did it come out? He's like, it had to be at least like January. I'm like, nigga, that's a month ago. How's that old? They were saying like I was talking about Thriller. I'm like, it came out a month ago, and that's old, but it's so much coming out that it has to be watered down.
Yeah. That's even with news.
Yeah, with anything. Anything, if it's too much of it, it's gonna be diluted.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest setback that I noticed.
Any assets?
I mean, it's easier to get it out without the red tape.
Yeah.
But it's like a catch-22 because it's easier for everybody else too.
And then it pushes you back behind.
Yeah, and like I said, it's just diluted. It wouldn't be a problem if the majority of it was good. But I mean, it's all type of. It's like every day you look at a blog, yo, a rapper so-and-so is shot. Nigga, I never heard of none of you niggas. Like, who is this? Did you see that thing they did? It was 209 rappers killed last year. Nigga, ain't 209 rappers. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is crazy to me. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of information on the internet.
It's TMI.
Yeah, that's very true too. So now in 2019, with the era of social media, what is your favorite social media platform that you use to connect with your fans?
Probably Instagram, more than anything else.
You don't use Twitter?
Nah, not no more. I used to a little bit, but I never really was into Twitter that much.
You're just using Instagram, connecting, and
That's
putting your
basically
music on there as well?
Well, no, not.
Or just,
Well, yeah, I'll do posts about when I have like music and interviews and stuff like that, and links to the new music, and then it also goes to Twitter and Facebook. But I generally am on Instagram more than anything else.
So even though it's diluted and everything, do you think that has helped you push your music for a new generation that maybe doesn't really know Case as well as everybody from the 90s did?
I mean, probably. I mean, I would have no way of actually knowing that definitively, but I mean, it's possible that it could have, yeah.
So now you're on tour.
Again, yeah.
So let everybody know what you're up to, what you're doing, what you got going on.
But yeah, I'm constantly on the road. I just got off the Ronnie Bobby Ricky Mike tour, took a little break, and now I'm back out again. Coming to a city near you. That'll be posted. We just all over the place. I actually just started coming up with ideas for my next album that I want to do. Maybe a week or two ago, started coming up with ideas for that. I'm supposed to be shooting for this TV show that they're filming in Atlanta called Pinched.
You're gonna be in it?
Yeah.
Starring?
Co-star.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So get my Denzel on. So, but
Is this your first?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
When does it come out?
Sometime this year.
Oh, this year?
Yeah, supposed to. But
Okay.
you know how that goes.
Okay, so you got movies coming out. TV shows coming
yeah.
out. You have music coming out. You're on tour.
Definitely on
Anything
the road.
else?
Nah, that's it for right now. I mean, whatever else comes down the pipe that I want to mess with, I will. But for right now, today, that's what it is.
That's it for right now. So thank you so much for coming to sit with us today.
Thank you.
And that was Baller Talk with Case.